Hello, hello. You're nesting, yes. When the world's currency is replaced by Twitch channel points, it's a solid investment scheme there. Sorry, turn my phone off. I'm rich too. I have infinity monies, so I mean, there you go. Hey, X3Don, thank you for subscribing. Following Scott, thank you for subscribing. All very confusing. Hello, XS3Don. Sorry, I forgot the S. I forgot something. It's going to be a very strange stream tonight. This is kind of going. My throat is worrying. So this could be a silent stream, I guess, although that's pretty crappy. So hopefully not. We'll see. I also just might fall asleep. You know, look, anything's possible. It's been a weird day. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning because I've been up for a while. I stupidly watched the US presidential debate, so got depressed for a bit. You know how it is. But here we are. Let's do something crazy. The crazy that we're going to do, I think, is probably just going to break everything. But before I do that, so this is what I'm working at, as they say. Excuse me. This is a train game, and it's a good thing you asked now. I suspect this is the last time today I'll be able to run it. News since the last stream, the panel on the left is now one of these panels. It was a depressing number of commits to get, well, not commits, but code changes to get all these little numbers right for this to draw. It's really not worth talking about. But it's cool. And then today I merged a PR by the wonderful Mr. Scott. So this 65 frames a second is fairly rock solid. When I maximize this on my computer, see what happens here if I do something. No, see, it's not doing it. If I maximize it and I move it around, it kind of dips a little bit, but comes back up again, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, if you haven't seen the new UI, it's kind of nice. I don't love... Whoa. Oh, that happened. Oh, yeah, I still need to do capturing of the mouse. Keep forgetting. I don't love that the zoom buttons are here, but they'll do for now. I will continue to tweak this UI off screen as I move things around randomly, but nothing consequential. But yeah, that's the thing. What I thought... Actually, you know what? I need to run it again. What I thought might be fun today... What was the trick to fix the FPS? Well, Scott can probably explain it, but I'll show you the code in a minute. Just quickly, what I thought we'd do today. So at the moment, if you drag tracks over water, you get bridges, but they're just drawing. Hello Google Zoom. There is an Amazon Echo just off screen, but never mind. Yeah, these bridges are just like drawn on, right? They're not different types of track. And I think, well, I definitely want to get to different types of track, and whilst bridges don't sort of warrant it, I think it's maybe a nice starting point, because the thing with a custom track is how do you work out when to use a custom one versus a normal one? Well, with bridges, it's pretty easy. If it's over water, you don't want a normal one, you do want a bridge, and vice versa. So I think I might start with that just as the sort of, you know, define the API shape, and then yeah, we'll see where we go. The trick to fix the FPS. So the fundamental change that Scott did is in here. So this is a copy, I guess, of the Skier Sharp control, which was SK element, to game element. The fundamental difference is now, basically, this is rendering when this event here is what is doing the rendering, rather than running a loop and doing it and then sleeping. This is rendering when WPF is ready to render. And then what happens in render is setting up these writable bitmaps. So they're drawn straight in, well, essentially straight into memory. Realistically, it's straight into a bitmap that is then rendered straight into memory on the screen or something. I don't really know, but it works and it's fast. So I'm not complaining. Yeah, this is sort of most of it, really. This whole thing here of creating a custom surface or whatever, which I kind of like, because it's like, you know, I like that the game has this API for drawing that works, and it's like, it's almost conceptually like software rendering, right? Where the games is the fallback, but then this one in WPF, knowing what WPF can do and with some strength of like writable bitmaps or whatever, this is kind of like providing its own stuff to enable, you know, hardware rendering, even though software and hardware is not the correct thing, but yeah, it's kind of that sort of thing. There's a PR open, which actually we can talk about. There's 3 PRs open, but I'm not merging any of them. So there's a PR open here, which makes it even faster and is good in theory, but as I've written there, if anyone wants to know, the issue I have with it kind of breaks the nice API. So it leans further heavily into writable bitmaps, which is good for WPF, but at the cost of allowing a simple fallback for simple cases. So in order to help work out what those simple cases are, I added a WinForms client here, which I can show you because it looks exactly the same. And the WinForms client is a nice validation because it's very minimal, right? We get a game, we get an interaction manager, we set size, we hook up the mouse events, and then this is using this present loop, which is the old style, but basically once every 16 milliseconds, it says, hey, invalidate yourself. And when it's invalidated, it says, hey, game, render yourself. So it's a very simple wrapper. This is kind of like minimal native UI, right? Any new platform that this game wants to go to, this is about what you'll have to do minimally. So I kind of figure now, if we keep this as a minimal example, and then WPF can be the advanced one that we can try and get faster, at least we know we won't be breaking that minimal example. And so this is what it looks like in WinForms, which, you know, it doesn't do DPI scaling, so these things are hilariously small, but also it all works, which is amazing. And the text is super crisp, even though you have to zoom in to see it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. An iPad app, I don't know, something. I wanted to go to the web, and I looked at web stuff on the weekend. I looked at so Uno have a Skier Sharp WASM thing they've done, and I looked at it, and honestly, I gave up because I couldn't be bothered. I don't know, the build tools require WSL. I'm not sure why. I guess to build some part of it, you need the UWP bits in VS because it's a UWP controller, like it's a container. It works, but it's kind of wacky, and I don't really love the I think it would hurt anyone who's trying to clone this and, you know, build it from source code. So I think the WASM Skier stuff, it'll come eventually to a less sort of hacked together implementation. Like the Uno people are working with Matt from Skier Sharp to get it better. Like I don't think anyone would be annoyed at me saying it's a bit hacked together. Like what they've done is amazing, but they've had to work very hard to get it to work. Like they have a custom fork that builds on a different thing, and so yeah, I think it'll all get better eventually. But anyway, that's the summary. Oh boy, I'm gonna need more tea. So anyway, on to bridges, or rather custom track types. So the first thing I guess to do is, thank you Scott for pimping the code. Yes, sorry I missed that question, XS3Don. Yeah, so it's all C#, it's all .NET, it's .NET 5, and it is Windows only, like it's a Windows app, but everything is basically cross-platform except for that very thin layer on the front. So I try to keep it such that it can go to other places. I just also am lazy, and it doesn't yet. So, yeah, so we have a bridge renderer, which is currently a renderer of tracks. And I think, where are these called from? I'm not sure the renderer is smart enough to do what I wanted to do yet, but my basic theory here is track layout renderer. This is it, isn't it? An I enumerable of renderers of tracks. Yeah. Okay. So my basic theory here is custom track types will inherit from track. So, well, I'll tell you what, let's just start, shall we? So if we add a new class called bridge, I guess. Bad bot command needs a space. Where? Space. Train.net can be found here. Can also. Oh, you can also. Very good. Thank you. Very good. Let's just go bridge. So the theory here would be that bridge inherits from track. And so bridge renderer is a renderer of bridges. Now, how this will work in terms of the actual rendering, I do not know. This is one of the reasons why I suspect I won't get the game running today, because I suspect it'll crash. Yeah, none of those, I guess all of these types have to change now. Good. Is that case sensitive? It is. Alright, that works. Okay, so that was easy. Cool. Yeah, so the theory is that this inherits from track. And the reason why I'm starting with bridge is because bridge doesn't really need to change anything. Bridge essentially does everything that track does. We could add to the identifier, but serializing this is a good question. Not sure how that's gonna work. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's leave it at that. So let's I need to check that this is actually going to work, right? Renderer. Oh yeah, this layout renderer stuff I have not played with. Interesting. So each render is render. So what we need to do here is we need to say actually let's just see what happens, because what I need to do here is I need to check the type of the entity to ensure the renderer can render it, but renderers don't have an explicit item type, which maybe they need one. I don't know. This. Okay, so this is cool. This is what I would expect, because these tracks aren't bridges. Oh, wait a minute. You know what's happening? This won't even be picked up, will it? Because it's not. It's probably not being found by the DI. Because my DI will be looking for things that are a renderer of T, not things that are a renderer of things that inherit from T. So that's a problem. Yeah, this kind of needs to be an iStatic entity renderer. I could do that. That could work. This could be... maybe not. I do like that it's generic. right, let's see what the DI does. So hopefully, if VS is going to play nicely, we can F12. Yay! So is bridge renderer here at all? No. And presumably track renderer is here. So here is a list of renderers of tracks. And yeah, it only contains track renderer. Okay. I was not expecting to have to work on the DI today, but I guess I will. Maybe I'll leave that for a bit. Let's leave that to later. Let's do the drawing first. So, what we need to do is find where track is created, which is here. To encourage me to learn C#. I like C#. If you don't know C#, I can recommend two things which appear in this browser on the wrong monitor. Number one is C# 101, which is this series of videos on Channel 9. So there's 19 episodes here, and they cover the real basics of the language. I don't know, I guess maybe it depends if you're a programmer in some other language first, but I think these might be too basic for you, depending on where you're coming from. But otherwise, sorry, let me paste that link in the chat. Otherwise, what is it? aka.ns/C# Discord, I think. Yeah. So the C# Discord is another great place to go if you want to learn C#. It is full of very helpful people, and me, but also people who are helpful. So yeah, very, very, very helpful people. Okay, so this is where we add a track. So this is where we want to change up the world. And I don't feel like I want to put it in the tool, because this is this is in the rendering layer, and that just feels wrong. So what is our entity collection? It's an iLayout. I think iLayout is a very good place for this. Yes, good point. Thank you, Sparky. C# Fritz is indeed doing C# beginner sessions on Mondays. His YouTube, the YouTube channel, I think it's the .NET YouTube channel, has the recordings, because I think he's up to episode 5. Yes, that would be a fantastic place to start, actually, especially if you're not big into programming at all. It's very talk radio style, which is cool. So it's sort of, directed by the audience, which I think is nice, because, it sort of keeps Jeff, it doesn't go away with it. It doesn't get carried away and dig too deeply accidentally. And I know he puts a lot of effort into preparing them. So what we want here, we want this add method to not take in static entity, because this thing is going to work out what is the best type to add, in theory. Get set. Yeah, that's fine. So we need to go entity equals get create new static for this column and this row. So the theory I'm going with is that there will be a class, or a series of classes, that basically get asked, hey, at this position, would you like to provide me with something? And if the answer is no, it moves on to the next instance of this class. And if the answer is yes, it wins. So the theory would be, we have a bridge factory that will check if it's over water, and if it is, it'll return a bridge. Otherwise, it'll return nothing. And after that, at the very bottom of the pile, we'll have the track factory, which does what it does now. And that track factory probably will check if it's over water and do the opposite. Excuse me. That's the theory I'm going with. Because what I'd really like to see is, so in the track code, there's a bunch of code for working out what the best direction to put a track into, right? As you draw and goes around corners and whatever. And the code for T-intersections and crossway tracks. Actually, I should keep this running just so I can talk about it. So as you draw, right, so this, you go sideways. When I go down now, this works out, oh, I should change this, which is okay, but I think it could be better, in particular when you do this, and then you do this, right? So as you draw this one, it has to look back, it checks its neighbors, it calls its neighbors to check it or whatever. The code is pretty hairy. So what I'm thinking might be a side benefit of this change is if this type of track comes from a different factory, then what we end up with is the class that determines whether something should be a cross track. Like, it's a class and its sole job is determining if something should be a cross track, as distinct from now where this track class has this set best direction method somewhere. I don't even know where. Yeah, here. Yeah, get best track. Like, all of this logic can potentially just go away and be encapsulated really nicely. So that's where I'm hoping to go with this design. But we'll see. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. Alright, so we're going to have entity factories. And we are going to say if 3 dots try create entity and then you just return it. Basically, here we return null. And so I guess that needs to be nullable. And so if entity null. Nope, don't like that. Entity is null. I forgot to do is before. I want to try and do more pattern matching. Also want to try and use more records, because I love records. Okay, do we have a, where's our constructor? Wow, does this not have any dependencies? Cool. Getting some. So we, what do we want? INumerable of static entity factory. Yeah, the entity factories. Is that what I called it? Yeah. We will create a field. Oh, hello. Did I do that? I haven't seen that dialogue before. Okay, I'm gonna create an interface, hopefully. Yes, awesome. All right, and we can do this as well. I really like when you can write an API first and then fill in the details later. It's so nice. Okay, cool. We have our factory hooked up. We have a bunch of builders. So tests is going to definitely be an issue. Serialization is going to be an issue. Yeah, lots of things are going to be an issue. Do I need to set column and row here, or does the layout do it? I think the layout does. I'm gonna call store, right? Yeah, cool. Bridge renderer, what? Oh, yeah. So this is why I say I suspect I'm gonna break the world today, because I don't know when this will be all building. I kind of don't want to bother fixing the emoji picker right now either, but never mind. Oh no, I can't even do that. Can I do, what is it? You say that's in and then it can take subclasses? Is that how that works? Bridge renderer? No. I thought there was a way to do this. Where you can like, maybe I need to say where T is a track so it knows how to actually do this. Not that I want this to be a track. Yes, co and contra-variance, exactly right. I can never remember which one is which, co or contra, and honestly, I've never actually used them in anger. Obviously, I've used them where .NET implements them, but yeah, see that's, yeah, okay, that's not gonna work. So what I have is a renderer of bridges, and I'm trying to pass it as an iRender of tracks. I mean, in didn't work. Let's try out, hey? This might... Oh, okay. Cool. Out works. Nice. Okay, wait. Why is that? Okay, so what? Out. So I can pass... I know I've looked this up before. I know I have, but I'm going to do it again. Contra-variance versus... Yeah, covariance. That no longer compiles. What? I just fixed the... Oh, this no longer compiles. The type parameter T must be covariantly valid on iRender or T is covariant. Is that... Do I just need it out there? No. Oh, why doesn't that compile? Invalid variance. Is that... Oh? When in on line... No, so okay, so when I had in on line 3, this compiles, but this doesn't. Right? So this is passing a derived class into something that wants the base class. So out made this compile, but not this. Is the word just, if you have out, then the things outside of here will compile, and if you have in, then the things inside will... We're reading docs today. Implicit reference conversion for array types, allocates generic type arguments, that's what I want. Covariance preserves assignment compatibility and contra-variance reverses it. Okay, so I want covariance, I think. Maybe. Okay, so covariance is where you have that by that. Okay, so no, I want covariance. I definitely want covariance. Right, which is IEnumerable. And IEnumerable is defined, I'm guessing, as out, right? Let's see if this tells me. It doesn't tell me. Oh, I want IEnumerable of T. Is this IEnumerable of T? Don't I call 3.1? I want my IEnumerable, please. IEnumerable T, there is. Yes, just after I should have done it. Yeah, okay, so I want out. So that makes sense. And now this compiles, which is good, right? So I'm passing in a series of track renderers, and a bridge renderer is a track renderer. It's just for a derived class. But now this doesn't compile. But it's not out, like out. Do I need to put this on here, maybe? Nope, that didn't help. You can only have out if your t is returned from functions never passed in. Oh, that's what it is. That's why it's out and in. Okay. That makes sense. Thank you. No, that makes perfect sense. Right. So what we're saying is I can't do this with... Yeah, okay. That's all right. I think... Can I actually... Wait a minute. Can I do this? If I make it an entity interface, does that change anything? No, so this still doesn't compile. Which makes sense, because... Oh, actually, hello. No, Rosalind hasn't caught up with that one. Or am I'm in the wrong... I'm probably in the wrong method signature. Yeah, okay, so now these are all broken, which makes sense. Yeah, I don't want to constrain T to iStatic entity though, because this is just a renderer. Well, actually, maybe static entity is okay, because I don't think I have a renderer of brains, but I'm not sure. I'm very close to just giving up on this. Well, sorry, not on the idea, on the emoji picker, because I really would like the track, the factories to work this way. I'm not super worried about the emoji picker or the rendering API staying the same. You should not make the function more ambiguous on what render T they accept. Yeah, I think that's the problem, is I can't do that because these are ultimately like, so for this one, I could solve that by making this a generic method, right? If I make these draw tracks of T and I put that to be a T, then this one should be happy because it'll just infer. But these are two different types. So I don't think that's going to work. Also, again, I think I've changed the wrong method. Okay, so if I make this a T and this a T, I love this. Just do stuff and see if the compiler is happy. Mark to static, don't care. Okay, so this one is happy, but this one where there's two different types of T doesn't work. So what if I tell it it's a track, and then we get the same problem? Yeah. Overloaded on where? Yeah, I don't want to. The problem is I don't want to overload. Like what I want is I don't know. I want the compiler to let me do the thing. Two T's won't work because, I mean, I could make two T's work, but in theory, like, so the idea is anything that knows how to render a something can be passed in, and then it works out what something is. I mean, the real solution here actually is straightforward, and it's just get rid of generics. If I get rid of this and I just make this an iStatic entity, totally will solve my problem. It just means that I'm using that generic argument to declare what type of renderer this is, which is where this falls down, right? If I have on here, like this, then this totally works. It's just all very old school, right? Like it's reflection-y, not generic-y. That makes sense. No, don't read the code. That'll horrify you. But also the random suggestions are great. Yeah, I'm just like, no, this is totally just brainstorming and thinking through this. I have not planned this. So if you have ideas, shout them out. Yeah, I mean, I would like generics to work. I suspect they won't though. And I suspect they won't because... So C# will happily let me say, track p equals new bridge. And it'll implicitly convert that. But as soon as I add anything around this, right, like, well, iNumeral was a bad idea because we know iNumeral does work, but any normal interface, any normal, generic type, that won't work for, because you need to declare it covariantly. But as you say, it can only be a return type, not passed in. So I think I'm fighting between these two constraints of the C# compiler and the .NET type system, which are theoretically, I'm sure that if they wanted to, the compiler team could allow this to work. It just doesn't, I think. Anyway, for now, I'm going to undo these changes because, yeah, emoji picker we can come back to that later. I don't necessarily I'm not tied to the API of the renderers at the moment anyway, so I'm happy to rethink that entirely if it helps. And we just need to wait for Rosalind to wake back up. Okay, so let me just unload this project. When something doesn't build, just unload it. Okay. So that's energy factories. Oh, tests. All right, we're gonna unload the tests as well. Yay. Too good. Okay. And what are we adding here? Filtered layouts. Yeah, we don't. Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. So the filtered layout is for people who want to say, of all of the types of track, give me this specific type, which is fine. But so for adding to that, if you're adding to a list that contains a specific type of track, probably shouldn't go through the factories, right? That seems silly. Oh, this is what track tool calls. Okay. Because that's a track. Interesting. Should this be... No, so yeah, this is the same... Yeah, this is the same sort of thing. No, I think this works. So what you're saying is I want to add something that's some kind of track. Everything that is added will still be inherited from track. So it still makes sense. Yeah. Hey, Scott, welcome back. Where did you go? You missed a fight with generics that ended up with Smudge is off reading the code, trying to work out how to do it, complaining about covariance and contra-variance not being smart enough, I think. Yeah, a bit of fun. No, definitely a fight with generics. So let's have a look. So entity factories. Yeah, okay, so I can show you the example here, Scott. So the theory with this is we call this entity factory and we say, what is the best thing to put here? But the track tool is calling this on a collection that only contains tracks. So what we really should be saying here is, give me anything that can create tracks. This one actually will work because this one I can make contra-variant because the methods in this interface only need to, covariant because the methods in this interface only need to return tracks. The problem is the rendering part of things. But maybe that is just my usage. That is actually just my usage because the renderers only take them in. All right, let's see. All of this is, of course, predicated on the fact that the DI might work, which it might not. Let's create a factory and just see if anything remotely works. Can I create an interface from this? No. We're going to create a class, which is a track factory. And a public track factory. Is going to say, what do we want? We want to do it only if there's not water there. So we need a terrain map. So if our terrain map dot get dot is water, then return false. An entity is null. Otherwise, entity is a new track. Easy enough. It's nullable. This is nullable. Does a track factory require an I delivery input? Maybe eventually. Not null when. Okay. I don't need do I need the attribute there? I do. All right, so in theory, let's test the theory, shall we? In theory, this will run. And this will let me draw tracks, and it won't draw tracks over water. That's the theory. Let's see if it works. That is a fantastic comment, Voigtkampf Phil. Yeah, I think I completely agree. If generics were designed to be part of C# now, then I'm sure there's probably some things that would have been done differently. I mean, covariance and contra-variance, what we're talking about, came in after generics, so it sort of had to be done in a non-breaking way, and maybe there was more they wanted to do but couldn't. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I still like it though, so I'm still going to do it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so no, this is okay. Here is the problem. Works exactly as intended. Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that in theory, it's possible to design a type system that provides type safety whilst allowing this sort of thing. And maybe that means you have to implement, specific conversions or something, but I'm sure it's theoretically possible, right? It's not about couldn't, but it's about, there's time constraints with all things. It wouldn't be type safe when you dig into it. Maybe? I don't know. I'm no compiler dev. I don't begin to understand half of what they do. In fact, I try to avoid it. I like to use the results of their work and not actually worry about how they come up with anything. So this is an interesting crack in my design. So a tree is a static entity, and you can't have a tree and a track occupy the same place, so they both get stored in the same collection of static entities. And oh yes, I've already recompiled. So they're both stored in the same collection, but a tree does not need a factory because, well, I mean, I guess it could. There could be multiple types of tree, but you want a completely different set of factories for a tree than you do for a track, which is painful, which is a problem. So this layout, yeah, this doesn't actually make sense here. Yeah, okay, that's right. So this just needs to come up one level to the specific layouts. Yeah, okay, that's okay. We can do that. So this is this. That goes back to normal. So we get rid of all of that and we put back an add method here. Okay, so where we want this is in our generic layout here, where we know what a T is. So this has no property. This is where we put, this code. So entity. So this now at least knows what type of entity to create. And we just have to work out how to hook all that up. So yeah, here is where we, whoops, that needs to be our numeral. So here is where we hook this up, but I suspect this is where we're going to run into this problem again, or the DI not being smart enough, because realistically what this should be is a static entity of T. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. But the DI does not support this. Add a T. Oh, you ask funny questions, Mr. Smudge 202. What DI provider am I using? Well, it's time for Sparky's moment of glory. Welcome to this trains.net, where everything is either over-engineered or under-engineered, never in the middle. The answer to your question is a DI container of my own creation. So it's a source generator. So this is my DI container, or rather, this is my DI container builder. So it's a source generator, runs at compile time, and it generates just wonderful code. Just wait. Oh, just wait. Are you ready for the beauty? Look at it. Look at this glorious code that it generates. So yeah, basically it goes through at compile time, works out what everything needs, and then just wires it all up. It's awesome, works really well, but every time you want to get something else out of it, you have to do the work yourself, which is, yeah, a lot of fun. Ah dear. So yeah, so this, and actually, now that I think of it, is this even possible? I'm not sure this is possible, because this T is only known at runtime, isn't it? Well, no, I guess this is injected somewhere, so we do know it for... yeah, okay. Yeah, when we're constructing this, we know the entity type. So this generate might need some work. That istatic entity factory of T would work better if you tuple the try-get return type and make it contra-variant. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Well, an out is still an output, right? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Must be invariantly valid. Oh, that's interesting. Because that's, yeah. That's still an output. No, it's not happy with that either. Is this an in one? No, it's not happy with any of that. Is it because it's in a value tuple? Okay, it's happy with that. It's fine with nullability. Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, it's fine with that. But it's not fine with bugger. To wrap the tuple. Oh, yeah, I don't... Undo. Undo the world. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's still an output. Anyway. Do I need to worry about undo? I don't know. I mean, I can work around it. Let's see what happens here. Where's my generated file gone? Did I close it? I did. A tuple. If I wrap the tuple, then I'd have to have the wrapped type as the... that's not... That doesn't feel nice because then that wrapped type would have to be generic. So I think I've got the same problem, just one layer down. Which end up would have to be an interface containing the bool and T. Yes, but that interface... Oh no, that interface would be okay because it could have two properties. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, let's have a look at this. So this filtered layout of tree got given a layout, an I layout, and it got given an I enumerable of static entity of tree. Oh, that actually maybe worked. This is a list of static entity of tree, which you didn't find any, but that's okay because there aren't any yet. Here's our static entity of track. No, wait, I didn't make any of them yet either because I need to change that. This might have worked. Hang on a second. I've forgotten where the class is, but somewhere here, track factory. Yep, there we go. If we fix this and go back to this, yes, it worked. There's our track factory. Awesome. All right. I think that worked. There it is, track now. Great. That's that. That's awesome. No overload adds 3. That's fine. Okay, so we need a tree factory, which is easy enough. Yeah, I think what you're saying there would work, an interface, because the interface would have two properties, a bool and a t, and so it would be happy with the out of that, and then that, yeah, would flow on. But boy, it'd be annoying to use. I like to design all of these things from a API use first standpoint. So I kind of... Oh, what are you doing in rendering? Wrong project. Yeah, so I want the API to look nice and then worry about we get there. Tree nursery, that is. That is spot on. 3 nursery. Thank you very much. Entity factory of trees. Implement. And this we actually can. This we can always do it. We can always have a tree. Which is actually, this is a little weird. It's weird that so this is checking for the best thing for this cell, but assuming the cell is empty. So the accept on a track is correct, Adrian, but that's already handled by the UI or by the tool, which, I mean, maybe, I guess that's a leaky abstraction. You could write a tool that doesn't do this, but for this to check what's on the track, it needs to import the layout, but the layout imports this, so hello circular references again, so we're not doing that. This actually built, oh my god, I'm just going to clear it all out here. So, a track, ooh, okay, that works. So I shouldn't be able to put the track over water. Oh, okay, it's actually working, and trees can go anywhere. Except on tracks. And except on water. Oh, no, that's interesting. Yeah. So the tool is doing that, and it's checking for water. Maybe the water bit can move from the tool, but yeah, that's not ideal. Maybe I should make the DI allow circular dependencies and use property injection. But this actually works. This is actually kind of nice. Hey, Ruby, welcome. Welcome back. Now, just Ruby, please don't forget, shut your eyes. For those of you who don't know, Ruby writes a real game engine, and I write crappy things that struggle with covariance and contra-variance. All right, so now we can make a bridge factory. In theory. And then we have to worry about rendering it, which will be the hard part. And a bridge factory looks exactly like a track factory, except there's a knot in front of it. That's the difference. Real game engine, yes. 700 unit tests. Oh my god. Yeah, I have like 3 unit tests, and they fail sometimes. Okay, so now we should be able to draw tracks over water, or we get an exception as soon as we do this. Oh my god, it worked. So in theory, this and this are 2 completely different objects. In practice, you can't tell, but trust me. Actually, you know what? They're not, because I completely forgot to change this line of code. Okay, this time for sure. You just wait. Now we see if we get an exception. Oh dear. Okay, let's clear it all out again. Whoa, that's a lot of water. Okay, so. Ooh, alright, well, it didn't explode. That's a good sign. So in theory, we have the building part done. In fact, we're so done, I'm going to check it in. Yeah, that's right. I'm going crazy. Did I need to change this? Layout, entity to adders and track. Yep, even. Yes, good. All right. Can't believe that worked. I mean, obviously none of it did, but it kind of did as well. All right, so now we need our renderer. We need to fix our renderer problem. So we have a bridge renderer. This is a renderer of bridges, and it is not being discovered. Okay. That makes sense for 2 reasons. So number 1, the source generator is not discovering it. never want to see that message. The source generator is not discovering it, and that's a problem. So this collection here should have all of the renderers in them. And it only has a track renderer, so that needs to have 2. That's problem number 1. I can fix that with the source generator. And then problem number 2 is in, what is it, layout renderer. This loop. Yeah, so the source generator, if I try to pass in a bridge renderer here, it's not going to compile. I'm pretty sure, which is definitely a problem. Let me prove that point. Oh my god, that was a long line of code. Let me prove that point by doing this horribleness. Oh god, what the? Oh yeah, private. Okay. Type underscore net does not exist. That's a weird error. So track renderer is a new track renderer. I don't care. In fact, I don't care so much. I'm gonna bang my way out of that. The best overload for list add collection. What? Can it convert from track renderer to iRenderer of track? But it is. Oh, it's cacheable renderer. Does that work? I don't understand what I've done wrong here. If I'm copying code from the generator, which works. Maybe it's because of all these .nets. I think this is just namespace collisions. Because I'm inside trains.net. Let's just simplify this. Okay, that's better. And I can get rid of this. Cool. Right, so this is what the DI is doing now. And, what? 752. Oh, wow. Yeah, so now if I pass in bridge renderer and the exclamation point out of that. Okay, so this is the problem. So it's 2 problems. 1, I need to fix the source generator so it actually does this, but then obviously 2, this doesn't work, which is where we're back to covariance. And I can't just cast this because that's not going to work, right? That's going to blow up at runtime, right? Because what I want to do is I don't want to cast the renderer. I want to cast the thing in the renderer, right? I want to cast the generic type, which you can't do. So this is going to be an invalid cast exception. I am 80% sure. Okay, it's not. What? Wait, what? How is that? Oh no, that's just constructing. Okay. Yes, because it's null. Fine. That's really annoying. Come on. Work. Can I convert from iRender of T to iRender of track? I know, but T is track. Trust me. Trust me. Just want to prove a point to Visual Studio. Okay. And then I'm gonna return. No, that's just silly. Then I'm gonna get a warning. Let's do this. Oh no, now I'm gonna get these warnings. This is not conducive to experimentation. That's all I'm saying. It's just not. Leave me alone, please. Are you going to leave me alone now? No, you're not. Why not? Because then... Oh my god. Oops, wrong one. Is this going to throw? Yes. That's going to throw. Oh, I know what I can do. Do this. Well. Bang our way to glory. Oh, that sounded... No, don't say that. Warning errors was a great... You're right. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I am totally just... That's not gonna work. Yeah, of course. I can totally just turn off warnings and errors. Thank you, Scott. I should have thought of that. You and you, goodbye. Ah, beautiful, beautiful warnings. Where were they? I kind of actually... I was talking about this to somebody. Maybe. I actually don't want warnings as errors while I'm developing, but I don't want to forget to validate it before I commit. So I actually would really love if there was a way in VS to like change this mode to like, okay, I'm preparing my code for realness now. Please tell me everything I'm doing wrong. Wow. It all broke. Unable to cast type tree renderer to renderer of track. That makes sense. And why did my breakpoint not hit? Where was that? I'm forgetting. It's here. Oh, I didn't have a breakpoint. So that's because tree renderer happens to be first here. So that's nice. Let's try again. Yeah, like I want the warnings to fail DI. And I mean, I could do that. I could make them warnings errors only in CI, not DI, CI. But then that would be annoying with pull requests because you put up a pull request and you just have to wait to see what breaks, which is annoying if you can't validate that locally. For me, who pushes to master, that obviously doesn't work. All right, so let's just see if this is going to work. Nope. I render a tree. What? What? How many renders have I got? Oh, I've only got one. Jeez. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of the skip. Okay, so this cast will work. Leave me alone. Because this is track renderer to renderer of track. This is a bridge renderer. Yeah, and so this is an invalid cast exception, even though bridges inherit from tracks. So it's like, well, if this wasn't generic, this would totally work fine, but it is. So that's our problem. So how do we fix it? And we can't make this... If we make this an out, then it fixes it on the calling side. But I can't pass anything in here, and I don't... I don't really understand why. I mean, it doesn't matter, because if I understood it, it's not going to make it work. But I really don't... Is this code in the repo? I mean, other than the code I've written tonight, yes, it all should be there. As in iRenderer. Is it not? This worries me. Yeah, iRenderer is there. Yeah, so this needs to be an in because the iRenderer is given a track. So that makes sense. It makes sense that that is an in. But then that falls down here where this cast will fail. I mean, I can push this, so I'm on a branch, so let me push this. There you go. If you want to muck around with it. There is now... Thank you, Scott. There should now be, there you go. There is now a custom track types branch. So this has everything I've done tonight except for this crappy mucking around. Yeah, so, okay. Get rid of this cast. This is the fundamental problem. So if we have an iRenderer track called bridge, this assignment fails unless this says out, right? If this says out, this assignment will now succeed. But I can't pass anything in here unless this says in. So I think I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I basically just need to redesign this interface somehow. I don't really... I'm not really sure on that one. So iRenderer doesn't have to be generic. I guess that's one thing. This could go here. No. Oh, you can't put... Okay. That's fine. So that could go there. Actually, that wouldn't... That might not be the worst thing in the world either then, because then bridge renderer... Bridge renderer, rather than opting into being a renderer of a bridge here, it essentially gets this should render is a now of t, and this is simply track is bridge, and which is a nice way to validate that we're talking about the right thing. And that can go here and do that. So that'll work. That's not the worst thing in the world. But I do like that this opts in, essentially declares itself, hello, I know how to render things, because so if I get rid of this, what you end up with is everything has to check the type of the arguments given, and it also means the bridge renderer, the track renderer, and the tree renderer will be called for all trees, tracks, and bridges, which is not ideal. Although, interestingly, if the bridge renderer and the track renderer are both called for bridges, then the bridge only needs to draw the bit under the track, not the whole thing. But that's not really a custom track type. See, no, I don't like that. Yeah, no, I don't like that. In fact, that can't work, because the track renderer can't just render for all types of tracks, because it doesn't know about thing. It's not as if rendering is on the hot path. I mean, it's not. Rendering's not on the hot path. Drawing the frame happens... Nah, it's fine. We just drop frames. We'll just show you the same frame over and over again. It's totally not on the hot path. I don't know what you're talking about. I really like my generic renderer. I like it so much I'm undoing this. There's a lot of undoing to do. No, I'll keep that one. Yeah, I really like that this is generic. 442 errors in 38 files. Yeah, don't forget I unloaded the test projects and the emoji picker. That can't get checked in, but that's what I did. That's tomorrow's problem. You had the same? Good. Welcome, Barbara. Welcome back. Oh my god, okay, I'm just not being a good Twitcher today. I'm not paying any attention. The Grumpy Game Dev raided me 48 minutes ago. I'm the worst. The worst. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm the worst. Okay, we get rid of that. Get rid of that. This definitely needs to be an in. Well, does it though? I kind of actually don't want it to be, because I do want this to be specific. I don't actually want the track renderer to be called with a bridge ever. even though bridges are tracks. So yeah, I kind of don't want the variance on it, but that doesn't help me make it compile. I suspect this is not possible. I suspect what I'd have to do is I would have to have a new interface in between the bridge renderer and the track renderer. Sorry, in between the bridge renderer and the eye renderer. So the bridge renderer could be a eye track renderer of bridge, and then the eye renderer is a renderer of actually okay. So let's see. Let's write this down. So if we have a track renderer, it is an eye renderer of track. That first one. And it's got a T. And that makes sense. Ooh, it's a bit yuck, but okay. And then this layout renderer. Hang on. How does the layout renderer work? I've forgotten. Is there one of these or is there two? Wait, what? Hang on. No, there's multiple of these, right? Yes. Okay, there's multiple of these. I think. No, this is using everything written by me, except for Skier Sharp. The only thing I'm using. Which is probably why I'm having so many problems with my wacky ideas. TerraFX, that's Tanner's thing, right? The C++ bindings for whatever. I don't even know what it binds. Is it DirectX? Yeah, it's DirectX. I probably should. I could port it. I have an abstraction layer here, so this is my skier layer. I could have a TerraFX layer. Even there was a branch. There was a branch without skier. In fact, there still is a branch without skier. It just doesn't. It's very old and it's slow. A whole bunch of stuff. Oh, really? I thought it was DirectX mainly. A framework for developing multimedia-based applications. Wait, that's what I'm doing. Really? Graphics? Oh, really? It's not a... Okay, I thought it was just DirectX. Does it have multiple thingies? Geometry 2D. Anyway. Yeah, I just picked Skier because it's cross-platform. I'm not really fussed. Yes, C# 9. Absolutely. Gotta be the cutting bleeding edge. Okay, so now if this... No, so this... This can't take... Can this take an eye renderer? Eye track renderer? No. This can't... Oh, dear. Wait a minute. Maybe this is the problem. Maybe all of this inheritance... That's why I don't use ReSharper. Maybe all of this inheritance is the problem, because all of these base classes deal with tracks and trees. So... I could... So this I can make be a track renderer. No, because I can't fill in the T and we have the same problem. I don't think I can design this wonderful API as I want. I suspect it's not possible unless, well, no, I suspect it's not possible with using generics to do all this type checking for me. But I really don't like the idea that every renderer gets passed in here with no filtering. That's kind of... I could do the same trick I do with the filtered layout. Data driven? So everything's a track just with lots of parameters? Yes, I guess. Passing renderers around is bad. It's one of the reasons scale bothers me. That's an interesting point. Passing renderers around is bad. Well, so this isn't really passing them around. This is, well, yeah, I don't know. So the way this works, and this is where I say this is not a real game engine. Well, it's not a game engine at all. It's just a game, but it's not even a real game. The way this works is the game gets given a list of things that generate a layer of the UI, and then it just calls them in turn, like no, not overly critical at all. I think it's good. Like, I know nothing about game design, so I'm just, winging it. So any like best practice advice is good to hear. I can't promise I will implement said good best practice advice. In fact, I probably won't. But it's good to hear. I every time I think about asking about this sort of stuff in the game dev channel on C# Discord, I'm like, oh, but they all just use Unity, and I don't use Unity, so yeah. I mean, I probably could also just read a book or something, but that's hard work. Oh dear. So what do I... yeah. No. I don't think I can get this as nice as I want it to be, because ultimately what I want here is I want this list to contain the list of everything that knows how to draw a thing that inherits from track. So I don't think this is possible to express in the .NET type system as it appears in front of us today. Yes, I realize you don't use Unity as well, but actually, do you there's another live coder who's probably online, named Tim, and he quickly mute Tim, he's not online. He's usually online by the time I finish. It might still be a bit early for him, but this is not sorted in any way, shape, or form. Oh no! Wait, Tim, there he is. Tim Boudet. He is a indie game developer who has written a custom game engine in C++. So you might like... See, I look over at the chat and Scott has, done the shout out. Thank you very much, Scott. You're too quick. I know it's blasphemy, but could you make it generic where T is track? What is it in this case? Maybe? I don't know if I can. What is it? I can't do that for iRenderer. Because iRenderer T is not track. T is iStatic entity. But I don't know what it is. So yeah, maybe. There's a mute button. Hang on. Yeah. iRenderer off track. I need a way to say, give me a thing that knows about any type of track. And there is a way to say that. I just can't call any methods on it and give it a track to do something with. Yeah, that's totally cool. In fact, this is not even like the game engine bits. This is just some arbitrary layering code that I happen to have written. And it's also abstracted away into these layers, which is definitely overkill. Like, all of this code realistically should be in here, but you know, it's just extracting common patterns. The problem is, as soon as you do that, it makes it really hard to reason about for anyone else. So I totally get it. Okay, that's what I was saying. I could do the same thing as I do here. So the way this iLayout track works is maybe relevant. So the iLayout track creates one of these. Yeah, this could work. This could work. So this class is essentially a translation layer, between this generically typed thing here and the not that one, this one, this non-generically typed thing. So this class will only ever deal with tracks, but this deals with tracks and trees and bridges and whatever else. So I could maybe do the same concept here. So what would that look like? So that would be, and filtered is just a terrible name for this, but we're going to do it anyway. So filtered layout, where that's a static entity, which makes sense. Does not even, yeah, no, that's true, it doesn't. So what would this do? No, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work because this would need to inherit from it. Yeah, no. So what? Okay, so what this would have to do, the name is going to get even sillier here. Okay, this would work. If I say this is, I'm a renderer of bridges, but I want to be seen as a renderer of tracks, essentially. I think this would work. And so this class could do that mapping. So in here, yeah, this would be abstract. And so in here, we go, well, if type of item, no, if item.getType is type of the render type, then yeah, okay, this will work. This is, yeah. Actually, let's make this my renderer, so we can do render canvas, and we can cast render type. So it needs to have that, and then this generate method, and it's it's affected, doesn't matter, abstract, and spell abstract correctly. Whoa, and delete the wrong line. Should use the is operator. Yeah, I can do that actually. You're right. But if wrap expression, oh, there's no, yeah. Forgot I can do that with generic thingies. Maybe I can't. Again, good. And then Abstract is not valid. Method must have a trend. That's true. That's very true. Thank you, C# compiler. Okay, this actually... Oh, this is... And now what I need to do is I need to go where T render type is the public type as well. But that's okay. That works. Maybe this will work. Maybe this will work. And this has nothing to do with the eye too, which is nice. So the bridge renderer... So this would be exposed as an eye renderer of track. This... I can put back all this code because we're doing things properly. Whoops. Doing things properly now. Alphabetical, please. Abstract protected. No. What? Absolutely not. God. This is a bridge. Get cache key. What the? Is that? That's not on the interface. Get cache key. What? Is that an old method that I don't call anymore? Oh, it's on cacheable renderer. Oh. Oh, that's annoying. That's very annoying. So this renderer, I now need a cacheable renderer. Oh no. So I need two abstract classes depending on which level of the hierarchy. Maybe we just say all renderers are cacheable and we move on with it. Anyway, okay, so we don't need that. This is bridge. This is right. So this is protected. Override. And then this should work. What the? Validate. Oh, I don't want to validate it. It's not externally visible. It's... Shut up. Stupid compiler. No. Yeah, good. What? Okay, I think that works. No, should render needs to change. Where did I put that code? Please implement. Really? Renderer of T public type should render. Yeah, this is kind of annoying, but whatever. No, same thing. Entity's better name. Okay. So that works. This is protected override. Is this going to go away now? You just worry about null. That's fine. Okay. This might work. Oh dear. What entity? Where method body entity is? And should. Is that an old thing I'm seeing? Oh my god, that's a lot of warnings. Oh. Are you talking about this? Because I did that. Maybe. The 30-second delay on Twitch chat is most annoying when you're typing like, no, that line of code is wrong, and then half an hour later it's like, what line of code? Okay, so this didn't work. No, wait. We haven't done serialization, so this might work. All right, moment of truth. Will these look like bridges? See? You see, you wouldn't get this level of comedy if you use Unity. Look, the trains work. I don't know what anyone's complaining about. If you want the tracks bigger, just zoom in. There, they're fine. Look, see, they totally fit. Look, it's great. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. Okay, what have I done wrong there? Oh, you know what I haven't done? I haven't done anything that actually picks the right renderer. That's the problem. Yes, right. So what this is doing is this is calling the track renderer, but no, I have no idea what this is doing. What? Yeah, okay. Ah, dear. Lay on the ocean floor. Yeah, that's right. That's right. See, if I used a real game engine, you would not have these moments of comedy. This is what I live for. It's great. Oh, really? You do get funny stuff? Yeah, I guess, actually, that's... No, to be fair, I've seen funny stuff like that in Unity as well, where... Anyway. Okay. So what I'm not doing here is I'm not... Yeah, so this renderer should render entity. Oh, okay. I know what the problem is here. The problem here is this is going through all of the renderers. So even if it rendered the bridge, the track is also going to say, yes, I should render that because I know how to render this because it's a track. Which means either there needs to be no base level renderer, or if the renderer... So this is currently stacked. Otherwise, if I just put break here, this will essentially mean one renderer per entity type, which is probably fine. The only reason it wasn't one renderer per entity type was because of bridges. So given that I'm changing that design, that makes sense. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's debug this. What's the best way to debug this? I guess press F5. Welcome to hovercraft.net. Yeah. Okay, clear all that. Find some water. Draw a track. Alright, let's put a breakpoint on literally anywhere. Yeah, sure. Oh, it's cached. How do we validate our cache? There we are. All right, so what is our entity? I need to know its type. Autos. Hello. You are a track, so we'll keep going. Find a bridge. Not a track. Oh, wait, this is a bridge. Okay, this is a bridge. So our renderers, our bridge renderers first. And we are going to render this. Oh. What? What the? Oh, wow. I completely broke this game. There's no method here that calls... What? Wow. Okay, hang on. When did this go completely wrong? So if it's not a cacheable renderer, we just never call render. Oh dear. Oh, I tell you what, this app is so broken. But that does mean I can make everything cacheable, because obviously there was no implementations that weren't. Wow, that's terrible. That is shocking. Okay, clear it again. Track and bridges. Yes, it works. Huzzah! 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 That is exactly what I want to see. So that is proof that these are a different type, and everything looks good. I don't know if you're celebrating, but this is seriously, like, I know this is underwhelming, but this is awesome. This is exactly what I wanted. Yes, it looks terrible. I know that. Don't worry. So what are we saying here? There is one renderer per track type, and we're going to stop at the first one. I think that makes sense. The track renderer can be the fallout. That's great. If you just remove the break, will the tracks come back? Yes, they will come back on the bridge, but the problem is that's like the fact that that's correct is only an implementation detail of bridges. So what I want to do for this, if we go over to a mountain, for example, and we turn on tunnels. So here, right, see how the track disappears, right? Well, I want the tunnel renderer to just say, yes, I do need to render, I can render this, and then not do anything. And if that fell back to track, then you would see the tracks there, so you don't want to. So if you change the order of the DI bindings or similar, it'll render tracks again. Yes, that's true, but, so there is a trick here. The renderer has an order on it. So I'm deliberately saying this renderer needs to come first. Which is necessary. But actually, now that I think about it, I am tempted to say that maybe this base type should not be... I'm tempted to say that maybe nothing should know how to render the base type. And so you essentially have to have a bridge or a normal track or a tunnel track or something. Because that fallback is kind of dangerous. But one renderer per thing probably makes sense anyway. Because it would be weird if someone else provided a bridge renderer and layered it on top. Well, maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. Oh, that's really good. Okay, so how did we get there in the end? It was just this abstract class. So it's, yeah, okay. So this class is guaranteeing us type safety between these two things. So, and this is where I make a fool of myself when I talk about things I don't know, but this is where I don't see why it would be impossible for the compiler or the type system or whatever it happens to be to do something to allow for this, right? Like this class is not doing much. It's essentially this, right? This is really the restriction here. So if I could just, like here, if I could say out and over where I'm using it, I made some kind of declaration to say, I'm going to use this, even though it's weird, I know it's an out parameter, but it's okay because this inherits from this. I feel like the type system could do that, but I don't know. ECS has additional performance benefits if done properly. Oh, hang on, sorry, I missed one. I feel like you're bumping into the problem that evolved ECS. Oh yeah, probably. So I have fallen ass backwards into a couple of game dev theories that, like, I develop something and then Scott tells me what it's really called, and it's kind of fun. But yes, I watched a video on ECS and I've forgotten it all, but I remember thinking, oh, that's a nice idea. That's kind of what I'm going for. But I'm happy to get there on my own. I'm not under any illusions that this is for a real game dev or that it should be proper. Trying to reuse entities across domain boundaries with inheritance of one domain leaking into others. Look, nothing leaks. This is all in one project, one solution. So there's no leaking here. This is fine. Okay, render is just a terrible name. I don't know what to call this abomination of a class. Like, what does this even do? It's like a converter renderer. Oh dear. You could solve this problem by splitting your domain. Track means one thing to the engine and quite another thing to the renderer. That is not necessarily true because, for example, with this... Excuse me. I think I unmuted too early there and I apologize. What I want to do with this track factory, right? I would like to have something, for example, let's say you had a track factory that if the track you're trying to put down is followed by, like behind it has 3 straight tracks in a row, then this should put down, a special type of track that speeds the train up. That type of track that's important to the engine. It's not important to the rendering at all. In fact, that's where the fallback rendering works really well. Actually, yeah, that is really, fallback rendering works really well. Oh no, because you'd probably want to draw like a yellow arrow on it, but anyway. So no, I think custom track types, I definitely see them as not just for appearance, but maybe, I guess you could have to supply an engine version and a rendering version of the same custom track type. That could work, maybe. I don't know. I'm pretty lazy, so creating 2 classes seems like a lot of work. What is this type called? There are only 2 hard problems. Oh, actually, you know what this needs? This is where it gets weird. This needs a track renderer. Maybe could have a method that says, do you want me to keep going and look for more renderers or not? Maybe not. Creating 2 classes looks almost... Yeah, well, look, I'm allowed to be lazy. Yeah, trains with different gauges. Good example. Excuse me, good example, Barbara. So yeah, just because 2 tracks, even if they look exactly the same, maybe they just aren't supposed to connect. Yes, Scott, exactly. Thank you. This is a correct summation of how my brain works. I don't see the problem. As I say, so what I'm optimizing for here is I want to have to do as least work as possible to add a new thingy. So I'm happy to put the effort into the system. Sorry for bumping the mic. I'm happy to put the effort into the system that allows it, right? But then later on, when I'm like, I want a new track type. Like, I love the fact that to create trees is like, well, it's just drawing code. That's it. It's like, yep, here's a new type. Here's the thing that knows how to draw them. Done. I love that. That's kind of what I optimize for in my brains. Let's move this. So this is a, yeah, we need a cacheable type mapping renderer. That's a terrible name too, but I don't care. I heard a dim. Did you rename the file? Or not rename the file, Visual Studio? What did you do? You did rename the file. Good work. Yeah, that's kind of disgusting. But yeah, like, well, no, this bit is disgusting. I don't like that this is called every time. I really don't like that this is called for every cell. But, you know. Since we're here, have you ever considered joining a game jam? No, I haven't. I have actually... Well, no, sorry. Let me take that back and answer the question you asked instead of leaping ahead. I have considered it, yes, and every single time I make a very deliberate and clear decision to say no. What I lack for game jams is skills being a game dev and ideas for games. But, you know, apart from those 2 things, definitely. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound like my thing. All I would want to do is work on trains. Feels a little disingenuous. Bridge renderer. A renderer of tracks. Bridge renderer and track renderer. It's so good. Yeah, this type check. That feels wrong. It feels like it shouldn't be there. It kind of feels like it should be here. Like, yeah. Oh well, beggars can't be choosers. Why is all of this green now? This was never... What have I done? All I did was turn off warnings as errors, and now everything has gone crazy. Like, pattern layout conflicts with the whole apart with namespace. What? Why are you complaining about everything now, FX Cop? What did I do? Hang on. What did I change here? Warning level is it warning level? Is that... Did I just not do a full build before? Like, I'm very confused. Anyway. So what he's actually saying is our story artwork. So, no, I don't. No, absolutely not. Because it's only the same game every time. Oh my god, my voice is going. Alright, I think... Oh, I know what it is. It's full solution analysis. Yeah, that's what it is. I turned this on. I don't think I meant to. Oh, I'm going to have to call it a night because I can't talk anymore. And I'm assuming nobody wants quiet streams. Alright, let me... What was I doing? Oh, yes. If I can get the tracks to draw, I can actually check this in for reals. So... we render the bridge. And then... we can render the... track, hopefully. Yes. Regime hydrate. Thank you. I'm running out of water though. Close and restart VS is probably a good idea. Alright, so serialization is busted. All of the tests are busted. The emoji picker is busted. But apart from that, it works. Yay. That's awesome. That is so awesome. You know what? We need to prove the point, though. We need to prove... I don't want to validate it. Go away. We need to prove. We need to prove it. How do we prove it? We go to bridge. No, we go to track. We go to track, and we make this move position. Yeah, we do this. We make this virtual, and here we override it, and we move. Ooh, train position. That totally needs to become a record. Yes. We go dot bar this position dot clone, and then pos dot. Now, is there a speed? Distance. Let's divide distance in half, shall we? It'll be exciting. Track path builder? Oh, right, you're talking to Ruby. Excellent, good. Yes, please. Scott is my game development emissary. He knows what he's talking about. I don't. I just live here. Plus, he wrote all of that code. All right, so to prove that these are different track types, in theory, the train should stop once it gets into the bridge a bit. Or before. That's... makes sense. Yeah, that's because of the look ahead rendering, right? I think we have an infinite loop. That makes sense. This is not how you do things. Dear. Yeah, I mean... Okay. This is harder than I thought. But, I mean, not harder. It's just not designed for this. I just want the track to control the speed, which it can't really do. So, whatever. That's right. That was only to prove a point. We can prove a point another day. Cool. 12 errors. I hate you. Like this. Why? So many errors. And now they're gone. See? Like... Let's just restart VS. Track path builder, but doesn't each track is a sprite essentially, right? Because they are cached. Each individual orientation and state of a track is cached once. So all those horizontal tracks, they're essentially sprites. They're just procedurally generated the first time with those paths, which is what all that cacheable rubbish is for. All right, build. This is cool. I started a branch for this, assuming that I wouldn't get anything done that works tonight, but I kind of did. Although, no, I need to fix the test before I can push it. Otherwise, it won't publish a release. So, I don't want to commit completely broken code. Visual Studio is busy. I have upset something, so we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Make sure it builds, because we're good citizens. Once per zoom level at runtime. Yes. It's like MIPS on steroids with none of the AOT benefits. I did not understand that. MIPS, isn't that an assembly? I think that's the assembly language I used at uni when I was like programming chips and crap. Yeah, so the build fails because of course you can't unload projects in the build, so that's to be expected. Visual Studio is using the process, so that's going to fail. Excellent. This is all going very well. Ah, dear. Okay. Better. Done. Visual Studio still crashed. I don't care. We have done good work today. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to bed because I can't talk. Yeah, so I just need to fix tests and everything else. Actually, wait a minute. No, the emoji stuff will work now, won't it? Yeah, cool. Seriously, Visual Studio is not happy. What the? Oh, wait a minute. Have I got a circular reference now? Is that my problem? Did add... Wait a minute. Oh dear. Did adding the track renderer... I don't see how it would have. But maybe adding the track renderer... yeah. Hang on. Whoops. Hello, you're too big. People can't see. There's a big train in chat. Is that good? What does this image portray? Oh my god. Is this you running the game with a train on a bridge? Or is this an old picture? Is that a 4K train? That's an enormous train. Alright, hang on. So, bridge. So, bridge renderer takes a track renderer. And track renderer. Yeah, no, that's not a circular reference. Track parameters, track path builder, track map path. That should be right. Let's find out. Running out of water. And actually, the tests only have one. Couldn't have. Oh, is it still running somewhere? Trains, trains, trains. Where's trains? There you are. Hello, trains. Goodbye, trains. Goodbye, trains. 40 warnings. It's a lovely number. Hey, look at that. Only one build error. My layouts. And this, yeah, this now takes... which is actually what it was before, I think. Wow, okay, I kind of like my mapping renderer now, because it makes everything still just work. Ah, awesome. Build even succeeds. Okay, do I dare merge this? Goodness. My Visual Studio is still busy. I thought I killed you. Oh dear. I did not kill you. Go away. Get egg. Okay, it's gone. No, it's not. It's still there. You cannot kill this thing. Oh yeah, that doesn't work from Bash. Now it's gone. Just for good measure. Lovely. I do that disturbingly often. All right, what do we think? Should I merge this? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I break the game. Meh, it's my game. I'm allowed. What the? Oh god, was that in that branch? That was supposed to be master. Whoops. Too funny. Yeah, bugger it. Let's merge it. Live on the edge. On the edge of reason. The edge of sensible development practices. Do as I say, not as I do. It's my life advice. Okay. Well, that's that then. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. My voice managed to last, so that's exciting. We are going to find somebody to raid, and then I am chuffing off to bed. Ads. I'm not promoting whatever that is. Right. Who's doing what? Interesting. Oh, you can't hover. If I was on the Twitch thing, I could hover. Ooh, math for game devs. That sounds ominous. But probably something I should watch. But also I'm not going to hang out and watch it, so... Freya's pretty cool. I usually just pick someone from the Live Coders stream team. But I'm happy to take recommendations. If that's the way we want to go. Oh, she's not streaming, so can't raid people who aren't streaming. Oh, look at this. I lerp. I totally need to watch this. Is that a recommendation for a channel, Gareth? They are streaming text to video rendering in C++. Wow. Sure, why not? Hi. All right. That didn't work. What? Channel? Yes. Okay. Good. Thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out. Hope you had fun. I know I did. I was surprisingly productive and got something done. Couldn't believe it. So yeah, thanks very much, and I'll catch you next week if I can talk. Bye.